Perfect. And we are live. So just in case, don't worry about anything. We're gonna edit video if you would say something you would rather not. So just let me know and we will cut it from the video. It's gonna be super relaxed. So sorry for all the fuss in the beginning.
That's okay, don't worry.
Yeah, and thank you very much for joining me today in the series of interview with UK-based entrepreneurs. I'm very, very excited. How have you been? How's your week going?
Good. It's been a busy first half of the week, certainly, with gyms going into lockdown. Obviously, with the UK going into lockdown, it was a case of kind of sliding everyone in, getting some one-to-one sessions done before the gyms close. I actually had a couple of outdoor sessions today. That's quite fortunate that we're allowed to do that, to train people outside and that sort of thing. And for a lot of the athletes, I coach remotely, so just online. It was just busy communicating with them at the start of the week, saying like, look, everything's going to be okay. We've done this before, we're a little bit more prepared for it, and it hopefully will be on a shorter timescale. And then just understanding like what they have access to in terms of equipment, what their training program structure would look like going forward. So been a bit more of a heavy admin week, I would say, and a lot more like communication and talking than is usual.
Alex, I was wondering how exactly I should pronounce your company. Is it VRTU Athlete?
Yeah, VRTU Athlete.
Sounds great. I like the acronym and that you remove all the
yeah, it's easier for people,
letters.
isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I know another company used the same kind of principle in the name Turtle.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's really cool, like TRTL and like turtle. And VRTU Athlete is the same. What exactly your company does?
What my company is?
Yes, what it does, what kind of problem it helps to solve for people?
So we train a variety of clients, from your everyday general population to competitive fitness athletes. We do that in both a one-to-one setting and an online remote setting as well.
That's great. When have you started?
So the company is about a year old. I believe I founded it October last year. So it is our first year in business, which has been a tricky one to navigate. Kind of played in our favor. Yeah, kind of played in our favor as well, though, because we do have both branches of the business, I guess you would say, with on-site one-to-one, but we also have a remote side to the business as well, which we work with quite a diverse group of athletes across the world.
Could you tell us more about remote part of your business? How does it work?
Yeah, so generally a client will approach us, ask about online coaching or remote coaching. We'll have a consultation to kind of get to know them better. We'll discuss lifestyle factors around their job, their sleep patterns, their nutrition habits, and their training. That's quite important for us because we tend to align ourselves very much as a holistic health brand. So rather than just your training program, it's, well, how does this training program fit into your lifestyle? Because you're different than someone else. So your training program will look different. Your lifestyle will also look different. So it's about aligning all those things to create the best possible outcome. We deliver our online programs through a platform called TrueCoach. It's pretty popular amongst remote coaching companies. It allows us to send very detailed programs to the clients. They use an app on their mobile which has videos, instructions on how to do the movements and the workouts. They can feedback and comment on how their workout went. They can post results. They can post videos for us to review their movement, and really allows us to move the one-to-one experience of having a coach in the room with you as close as possible as we can to a remote setting. So that's where the difficulty tends to lie.
Okay, I see. What do you think is the way for moving forward? Is it how it's used to be, or is it online sessions?
Good question. That was something we discussed with most people at the start of the week, obviously, with the news that we were going into lockdown. The thing would be that everyone is quite different. So there's some people, myself included, a few others I work with, who are quite happy, confident with themselves and their abilities within the gym and exercising. They like training on their own. They're quite content to just have their program delivered to them, do the best they can with it and send the results back and continue a relationship that way. For a lot of people we worked with, the biggest struggle they experienced over lockdown was missing that community feeling and the feeling of having a coach with you in the room. That was really difficult for a lot of people. So I think whilst remote coaching obviously experienced a massive boost to the industry during the first lockdown in the UK, I think there will always be a place for one-to-one coaching. It's just beneficial for us to be able to do both, right? We want to sort of have a couple of different hats that we can wear so that at all times we can be providing the best level of service to our clients.
Yeah, I know there are quite a few companies which moving their operation from offline to online now and struggling with facilitate this change, this transformation. Have you had the same problem?
A little bit. So like I say, we were prepared with both branches to begin with. So we were certainly ready for when the first lockdown came. We had systems in place, and for all the one-to-one athletes we coach in person, it's just, hey, this is how things are going to look for the time being, because this is obviously like the law now, or this is what the state of the country is in. And again, it is just about knowing your client individually and seeing whether they enjoy that style of training. I think in some senses it will be the way forward, in terms of we still keep a lot of people on the program on the online platform so that they can do their own things outside of the gym. Because really most of the people you train, you're seeing them 2-3 times a week, and there's a lot of extra hours in the week where they might need help with sleep, they might need help with nutrition, and there's other exercises they're doing through the week. So we still use that almost as a hybrid model for our one-to-one clients as well. So there's certainly a place for it. I don't think it will ever become fully remote in our industry.
Yeah, I hope not, because I think one-to-one for training is always kind of makes sense. But at the same time, it's kind of convenient if you can do everything you want at home, or even if your program is delivered to you and you have coach whenever you want, and not only like three times per week at the gym.
Absolutely.
So I think it's really great what you're doing. How many clients do you have? Is it like, do you see that lockdown is kind of slow down a bit your company, or it's doesn't affect you that much?
So we work with somewhere in the region of about 25 to 35 athletes at the moment. They're on a variety of sort of programming levels, where the vast majority, I would say about 80 to 90% of those are individualized coaching. So they will have an individualized training plan, nutrition plan, lifestyle habits, and things like that. And we work very closely with those athletes. We also do just a generic free program that we put online. People can follow along as they wish. So we work with about 35 people overall with that. I'm sorry, I forgot where you were going with the question. What was the second?
Yeah, do you see the like impact from lockdown, from COVID to your business? I mean, your business existing is during the lockdown kind of framework, but still. Yeah,
so I think at the start of the first lockdown, we were experiencing pretty natural growth anyway at that time. I think it was mid-March. Experiencing some pretty natural growth, and obviously just with things overnight completely shutting down, everyone was almost panicking a little, thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So we pretty much doubled our business overnight with that. This one is a little bit more difficult. I think that like discussions with people mostly this week have revolved around November being a really difficult time of year for people with finances and things like that in the run up to Christmas. Obviously the economy has been impacted hugely by this year. So this second lockdown has been a little tougher. I think people, justifiably maybe can't afford certain things anymore, or have to look at tightening their belt a little bit. So the first one was pretty much great for our business. This one, it's just mostly about looking after the clients that we're currently working with, checking that they have everything they need to be successful whilst we're in lockdown again.
Do you have any partnership with gyms or something like that?
Not massively, no. We've worked out of a few gyms. We've hosted training camps a couple of months ago at a local gym in the Northeast. I work out of a small studio in Newcastle. But other than that, we try and sort of remain ambivalent, I guess, between gyms.
Makes sense. But what is your, let's say, customer channel? is it like just existing customers you have from
in terms of generating new leads and things like that? Yeah, so a lot of that would come from myself, where I've worked in gyms previously, or through my network, or word of mouth. That is something that our business probably needs a little bit of development on, is generating leads. But for the most part, my growth has been pretty organic.
Okay, it makes sense. I think now with the whole online situation, for you it will be even easier to find clients. It's my personal assumption, I guess, just with promoting your services online and stuff. Interesting. So you've been working in this position as a co-founder of the company for a year. How do you feel?
Pretty proud. I think it's always scary starting out a company, but I think the first few months were definitely rocky, where I had other jobs going, obviously, to try and pay my bills and everything like that. So it was difficult juggling all three of those, especially when you're doing everything in terms of building the website, discovering marketing messages, forming the business plan and the mission statement, as well as trying to do your job as coach and form training programs and build relationships with people. So first few months of any startup are pretty difficult, and I think certainly lockdown came at a good time, where it allowed us to just have some more time to develop the business further and work on those sorts of things. I spent a lot of time developing my coaching skills to be more efficient, which allowed me more time to work on the business. So certainly things have been going in the right direction. I feel like it's kind of reaching a nice point now where it is my full-time role, and things are sort of at a steady level where business is supported, our lifestyle is supported from that. And I think it's got a real good opportunity now, given that it's been a successful first year. It's got a great platform for us to springboard success in the future.
Yeah, I think right now it's exactly at the right time to do stuff like that. So congrats. I think it's such a great thing that you have such a quick success. I know quite a few companies which work for getting let's say salaries from their company for like 8 years.
Yeah, that's pretty scary thought.
8 years. No, but it's like sometimes when it's something like a big research project, for example, they do need some big R&D investments. Obviously, they can't support founders at the same time, and founders have to have like part-time jobs and work like 3 jobs at the time, as you said, as you done in the beginning. Yeah, so I think it's kind of good that you found the niche which allows you to fully support yourself at this stage. It's really cool. Congrats with that.
Thank you.
Do you have like you're very young, obviously, so to start your own business and do all the stuff by yourself, is it big support from family? Is it some motivation you get from I don't know, other entrepreneurs? Where did you get this drive?
That's a good question. I think probably when I was a lot younger, my dad bought a business and started running it himself. My mum did as well, actually. They both owned their own business for a while. So I don't know if there's some level of that wearing off on me, but I think since I started in this industry and started working other jobs, I've just always, I think from my athletic endeavors when I was younger as well, I've always found that like the hard work you put in will pay off, and I really, really enjoy that feeling. So I think I chase that feeling quite a lot, and I won't be satisfied by working for other people. So I think it's just the decision I made probably halfway through this year is that like I won't be happy until I am working for myself, because then I'm only accountable to myself. I think I'm better at that than I am being to other people, especially when I just feel like a certain sense of value from the job I do as well, which definitely just keeps me getting out of bed in the morning and keeps me working hard.
Yeah. About working hard, do you have some kind of schedule how you work, or it just I'm waking up and I start doing my stuff? Do you have like to-do list, or how do you organize your day?
Yeah, so I think what I learned from the phase where we started up the business and I had lots of different things going on, is I was not looking after myself at all. And I felt a bit irresponsible because I'm telling people, you need to look after your health, you need to make time for yourself, that sort of thing. And I was working so much on so many different things at once that I was very, very rarely looking after myself. I pretty much didn't have a weekend off for maybe a year and a half. And so I think lockdown gave me the opportunity to look after myself first. And that gave me a better position to coach people better and just be healthier and happier with my work. I think when I'm not looking after myself, I'm not as happy. Doesn't matter if I'm doing a good job or not. So typically I'll wake up around 6, let my dog out, and
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trust me, that's a bit of a sleep in from the times I used to get up. So I'll get up at 6, I'll let my dog out, give her breakfast, and that first half hour of the morning is to myself. I'll just put a coffee on, read a book. Reading's a habit I'm not particularly great at, so I try and force myself. Like, that's the first thing I do every day. Read a book for an hour. 7 o'clock, make some breakfast, open my laptop, check emails, check notifications that have come through from the day before with everyone's training, so review people's training, that sort of thing. Normally by then I'll have an 8-9 o'clock one-to-one session, so I'll be heading into the gym for that. After I finish some morning sessions, I'll probably train, go home, have lunch, and then spend the rest of the afternoon planning programming and that sort of thing, and working on business admin. So I try and get as much work done as I can in the week so that I can have time off at the weekend, rather than plowing or spreading my work through the weekend and not actually getting a day off. Because I find when I get a full day off or I take time off, I'm far more productive when I come back to work.
Yeah. So if you wake up at 7 or 6.
Yeah.
6. So what time do you go to bed?
Normally around 9-10 o'clock, which is super early for a 23-year-old, I know.
No.
I'm very much a morning person. Yeah,
me too.
I get to a certain stage at night where my body's like, no, you're tired now, go to sleep. So I like to get 8 hours. I try and get 8 hours most nights, but yeah, I don't think I could sleep in past like 7-8 o'clock anyway.
I totally get you. A few days ago, my boyfriend and we had like a dinner, and I felt like, oh, we're gonna watch something, and it was like 20 past 8, and I was like, oh, we're gonna watch something, and we went to bed, and I was like, no, let's just go to sleep. And
you can put something on, but I'm gonna fall asleep no matter what.
Yeah, and by like 9 we were sleeping, and I was like, I'm old.
Yeah. This is what our bodies are supposed to feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, so I totally get you. And to be honest, I think it's much like, for me personally, I used to be a morning person as well. My like the time I prefer to wake up is 7 as well.
Yeah.
I mean, not as well, 7, for you 6. I used to wake up at 4:30 to do like morning run.
Yeah.
But because because it's now November, I don't want to run in the morning. It's
me too. I want to stay in bed as well.
It's too sad outside. By the way, about like seasons, do you feel it's like sport and fitness? Is it like seasonal thing, or do you see like more clients before summer when it's like bikini season?
Yeah, I think we absolutely do. Typically, it's a difficult time to be in lockdown, obviously, because November is typically the worst month for gym memberships from
Really?
experience. Yeah, so people would think it's December, but I think generally most cancellations happen through November, or it's certainly tougher to get people through the door in November. Just people tighten their budgets and things before Christmas. It's actually the same in January. January, no one has any money until the end of the month because we've spent it all. So February is typically where we get a big boom. February through March will be flat out, especially with one-to-one sessions. Normally that sustains kind of level through April, May, and then June, July is just disposable income time. People have more holidays, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's definitely seasonal.
In terms of where are you based?
So I'm based in Newcastle in the north of England.
So if it's Newcastle, can you, for example, train people from other parts of the country?
Yeah, in a one-to-one setting?
No, for example, I don't know. So imagine you have all your customers now in Newcastle. Is it?
No. So we work with quite a wide range of people. There's people we work with in London, Scotland, Denmark, Holland, France, Qatar. It's pretty far reaching.
Qatar.
Yeah, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. It's most of my network would be based in the Northeast. So that's how word of mouth spreads. A lot of people I obviously work with on a one-to-one setting and remote setting would be in the local area. So that's quite helpful in terms of what our brand vision would be to build a community of these people. So to bring them together on a common goal. So it's helpful to have obviously a base location, but if I wanted to, I could pick up and move to Australia tomorrow, and it would pretty much be okay.
Yeah, but in terms of business model, it does not affect. You can train people whenever they are, right?
Yeah.
Wherever. So if, for example, I'm based in Glasgow, in Scotland, I still can have you as a trainer if I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
How would it work?
So we'd begin with our consultation, get to know you obviously a little bit better, find out your habits, your routines, that sort of thing, some of your training history, injury history, your past, like that. We get as much information as we can on you, but it would kind of be an ongoing process because it's hard to get to know someone within the space of an hour and a half. So then we would set you up obviously with the information that we have, set you up with an assessment on TrueCoach. So that would look a lot like a movement screen where we give you a list of movements to do. You would film them, send them back to us so we can see some of the technique and maybe where you're restricted in your movement. That would be our movement screen that would go alongside your first week of training. So depending on what your goal is, your sort of current level of ability, we'd structure a training plan where we can get some quantifiable numbers on it. So there's a saying in the industry that says, assess, don't guess. We want to be able to turn around to our clients in whatever time scale and say, hey, because we've worked on this, you've improved, and here's the numbers to show that. So we would maybe get some numbers on the max weight that you can lift or the fastest time that you can do a task in, like a run or a row or something like that. We'd get as much data as we can. And then it would kind of be a case of analyzing the data, using some of your qualitative feedback to decide, okay, what are our priorities here? Do we need to get stronger? Do we need to get fitter, more flexible, that sort of thing? And from there, we would develop our training program or our initial phase of training. That would all be delivered to you via TrueCoach. We obviously have some ongoing consults. I think they're probably one of the most important parts of our job. We don't just deliver things and have people go at them. We contact them regularly on Zoom calls, maybe once a month for everyone, discuss how their training is going, discuss how their lifestyle is going, will the training plan fit around that, and then also just talk to them about some things to keep in mind whilst they're doing their training.
Makes sense. I was wondering, it's very clear how you explain about how newcomers can get into your program. Do you have like explanation on your website, or do you have website? Do you have social media? How people can reach you?
Yeah, so we're on VRTUathlete.com. There's plenty of information there about who we are, what we offer in terms of personalized coaching, in terms of programs as well. We've tried to build our company to be as inclusive as possible. So there is something for everyone. It can sometimes seem like we just work with elite level athletes quite a lot, but we work with such a wide variety of people that we really are quite accessible and flexible to everyone's goals and needs. We have Instagram, Facebook pages. Our Instagram has plenty of links. We do free workouts there every week. At least once a week, we'll post something that most people can just follow along with, and that's our community.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so there's something available there. Our link tree also just has links to our websites and things like that as well, and our blog articles that we post quite a lot.
That sounds great. So how people can find you? Tell us the name in Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, so Instagram is just at @virtue_athlete, I think. Sorry, it's underscore at VRTU Athlete. Our Facebook page is just called VRTU Athlete, and if you Google VRTU Athlete or go to virtuathlete.com, you'll find us there.
Perfect. And if people would like to get in touch directly with you, it's Alex Murphy on LinkedIn.
Yes, that's right.
Perfect. So what is your preferable way of communication? So for example, if I have some question, maybe I'm interested in some kind of collaboration as a company, or if I would like to get to become your customer. So what would you say is the best way to contact you?
Yep, shoot us an email at virtuathlete@gmail.com.
Okay, so it's email. I see. And thank you, Alex, so much. It's such a pleasure talking to you.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
We're gonna move to our second part of the interview. It's very short part,
Okay.
like just a few minutes, and it's 5 questions, maybe 4. We'll see how it will go. Sometimes I forget some questions, so sometimes it's 4.
I like these kind of rounds. Like quick fire.
Yeah. So I would ask you to answer as short as possible.
Okay.
And in fact, you already answered one of my questions. I asked if you have anyone, if you're coming from entrepreneurial family, and you mentioned that both your parents are used to do or doing business. And I wanted to share with you that about 90% of people I talk to, 90% of entrepreneurs I know, and it's quite a lot. I don't know, I think I know about 1,000 people who are doing business, and 900 of them are coming from entrepreneurial family.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right?
I know, it's just so crazy. And both me and my co-founder, we both from entrepreneurial families.
Yeah.
So my parents used to have business when I was a little kid, but I think somehow it's affected me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they say like you either become exactly like your parents or you become the complete opposite of them. So my dad was an accountant and I'm rubbish at maths, so I think I'm the opposite of him in a lot of ways, but I'm really similar to him in a lot of other ways.
But I guess you don't have problems with accountancy for a company.
No, I don't. He works for free.
I just, it's just with me. I just received a letter from HMRC, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I get those and I just pass them to him.
I'm so jealous. I hate it. I do love accounting, but it's just generally such a nightmare. And I feel always like, am I gonna be arrested for filling in something not correctly? And we have accountancy company who does stuff for us, but I still kind of always like freaking out.
You're always nervous, yeah.
Oh, crazy. Anyway, sorry for this short sharing details. So my first question, how do you see yourself in 5 years?
How do I see myself in 5 years?
Yeah.
I'm more successful than I was now.
What you doing? Where are you?
Oh, gosh, that is a good question. Potentially somewhere sunnier, working full-time as a remote coach with a handful of employees.
Okay, so my next question is, where do you want to live in the future?
That's
so
a
do you
tricky
want to
one.
try?
I would typically say California. I feel like I've got a calling there, but the state of the US at the moment, I probably don't want to go near that.
Yeah,
maybe Canada or Australia. They seem pretty popular at the moment.
Yeah, but if you're talking about like sunnier, I guess it's not Canada.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe Australia.
Let's say Australia.
Or New Zealand.
Yeah.
Another question. How do you see your company in the future? What is your vision for a company?
Vision for the company would be to have a handful of employees who are all motivated by success and by our brand vision.
Sounds great. Yeah, and another, I think, short question. What is the book you're reading at the moment?
So I'm currently on 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson.
Wait for a sec. Настюшка, все? I freaked out my director. She's like, what?
Sounds like you have a good relationship.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, there it is. It's great. I'm really enjoying it.
I love it. So on which role are you?
I think I'm on rule 6 or 7. I've missed a couple of days of reading recently because I've been up late. So
I'm on
yeah,
rule 6.
Oh, nice. Cool. We're reading
Yes,
simultaneously.
it's set your house in perfect order before criticize the world, which is
yeah. I think I just finished that one.
yeah. So it's so great. I should kind of confess, I was reading first rule for half a year.
Yeah, me too. It took me a while.
Yeah,
It's
I was just like, I would start, and I was like, no.
Yeah,
Then
it
I was
was
like,
too much about lobsters, and I'm like, I'm not sure this is what I'm supposed to be reading.
but it's like grown you, right?
Yeah, I think it gets easier as you get into it, for sure.
Thank you, Alex, so much, and I have to ask about the book. So, guys, oh wait. Here. Oh, sorry, guys. There is a camera, Alex. Sorry.
Okay.
If you're interested, what books Alex Murphy, the founder of VRTU Athlete, and me, Anna Galitsina, the co-founder of NoFrames, are reading is 12 Rules for Life from Jordan Peterson. So I think I will take it. My director is saying she's gonna read it as well, right? Yeah.
Great. Let's start a book club.
Sold it. Yeah. So thank you very much, Alex. It was amazing chat with you. And guys, please follow VRTU Athlete on Facebook, Instagram, and check LinkedIn. Alex Murphy, the founder. I'm just talking to the camera. And Alex, thank you so much. I will send you a follow-up email if you prefer emails, to say when we're gonna post the video, because for now, because we have a lot of interviews, it could take a while. But stay in touch, and wish you the best luck.
Thank you so much. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.